Welcome to Spursvasion TV. Right, today we're doing the F1 watch along at the Belgium GP. Spa-Francorchamps is one of the old school legendary circuits, right? But of course, the original one was a very long one, but they've cut it short nowadays. And surprisingly, it's turned out to be a wet race again. So we are not sure whether we're going to start behind the safety car, right? Is there going to be a rolling start, or but as I see it now, I think there might even be a delay in the start because of the weather, because they're talking about visibility. It's very hard to see through the rain and all that. So let's see how it goes. To tell the truth, right, I thought if it wasn't be a wet race, right, I was having a feeling that most probably Oscar would have a very good chance, right, to overtake Lando Norris on this. See, because the Spa has a very long straight right at the beginning. That's how maybe how to say the Verstappen beat Lando in the race. Was it Oscar, right? In the sprint race to get his points up. So as I see it now, all things are going to be quite exciting, right? What kind of race is going to turn out to be, right? A bit of history of Spa. Spa used to be a very wrong. I do not mistaken. It used to be an 8-kilometer circuit, but now they've cut it down to about 3 or 4 kilometers, right, or maybe 5. All right, so they take a lot of corners out. This to tell the truth, this circuit reminds me a lot of the much older F1 races where there were a lot of crashes. And then there's a certain part where you go past the forest area and all that, and that was a very exciting part, right? But today with the weather in this scenario, right, let's hope the race starts on time. If not, there'll be a slight delay. We're not sure yet. Of course, they will go out on the formation lap, and then they will check and see, and let's see what kind of tires they're going to use, right? Will they be using all wets or will they be using intermediate? We're not sure yet. So let's see how all this happens, right? And let's hope this is going to be a good race, an exciting race, right? There are, I think, three DRS positions, but with the weather being in this situation, I'm not sure whether the DRS will be active, right, for safety reasons. So at the moment now, we are still waiting. Let's see whether the stewards are going to make the decision even before they have their formation lap, or they will go and try a formation lap with the safety car and to see if this race can get on the way and on time. If not, then most probably you'll see the race be delayed for another 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Then let's see how we go, whether we're going to talk a bit about the race or we're going to talk about a bit football, right? Don't forget, right, no matter how, I'm still a Spurs channel, right? And complain about, all the things that's happening with us now. But at the moment now, let's focus on the Formula One race, right? If I'm not mistaken, let me get some adjustments done on the camera. Yeah, that's much better. Right, push it back to the side a bit. No, to the side a bit. All right, to the center. All right, guys, exciting race coming up. Let's hope it starts on time, right? Wherever you're watching around the world, right? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all you guys. Hope you're all doing well, right? Especially here, it's going to be 9 p.m. Malaysian time, right? The race starts about 2 p.m. UK time, if I'm not mistaken, 3 p.m. or 1 p.m. GMT, right? So, yeah, let's see how it goes now. At this moment now, we are just all waiting to see what kind of decisions the stewards are going to make, whether we're going to try, right? We have not had an actual all-out wet race in a long time because nowadays, due to the safety, right, they don't allow that much anymore, right, to prevent a lot of devastating crashes. So as I can see it now, we are looking at this, right? And of course, I'll give you the top 4 positions later. I'll read you out all of the positions on the lineup, right? Of course, Lando's at pole at the moment with Oscar is second, right? Charles is third, and of course, Max is fourth, right? Somehow or another, the Ferrari was able to pip the Red Bull, right? And of course, there's the news for Lewis Hamilton not even making out through the first round of the qualifying. He's sitting at 16th, right? So that's another thing, right? Ever since Lewis has moved to Ferrari, his results have not been that promising, but of course, we are more looking at the next season when the change of the chassis and engines and the rules and the body parts and all that, right? So it's totally new car next season, next year. So let's see how that goes. But of course, now at the moment now we are looking at big up Chris. Thanks for the birthday. Greetings, right? Wishes, birthday wishes. Hope you're doing well, Chris. Right? I'm not sure whether you're interested in F1. If you are, I'll send you the link if you want to join me. Right? But we're just watching cars going round and round. But it's gonna be exciting, right? Because it's a wet race, right? And let's see how that goes, right? And if not sure whether Eva Man is watching, right? Eva, if you're here, right? I hope you're gonna have a good game on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Is it Thursday? This coming Thursday on the 31st, right, when we're having the North London Derby at Kai Tak Stadium, Hong Kong, right? North London Derby at Kai Tak Stadium, Hong Kong. And even if you're watching, right, most probably I'll be doing a watch along then. Whilst I'm doing that watch along, I'll put the link out into the chats. Maybe you can give us some live feed from Hong Kong at the Kai Tak Stadium, right? And show us some of the actions that's going on during the North London Derby, right? But of course, yesterday we watched Spurs play, right? Yeah, yeah. All right, Chris, take care. Hope you're doing well. Right, just passing through. All I say is that, after watching Spurs play yesterday, in the first game against Wigan, we drew 2-2, right? Then after that, in the Luton game, we drew 0-0. Nothing much to shout about. Didn't see much of a plan or excitement, but a lot of people saying it's still pre-season, right? So let's see how that goes. Right. All right. Now we're going to look at now the all right section. There's three sections, right? Let's see what there's 3 DRS, but there's 2 DRS zone, not 3 DRS zones, right? But the problem now it's raining. So let's see. I got a formation lap. Yeah. And it's still raining. Yeah, conditions are very, very wet. So I guess we're going to go on wets at the moment. We'll be going on wets at the moment. All right. It's going to be wet. Yeah. Start race is going to be wet, and then let's see how the weather turns out. Then whether they will change into inters along the way, and let's see how that goes. Right. The starting grid. Let's look at the starting grid now, guys. Let's look at the starting grid. Right. Alonso is 20th, Antonelli is 12th. Sorry, 19. Antonelli's 19. Right. 18 is Hamilton. 17 is Sainz. Right. We got one, Donna Cullen. Right. 16 is Stroll. Colapinto is 15. Right. Colapinto is 15 at the moment. Right. And 14 is Hulkenberg. 13 is Gasly. A lot of big names down there. Right. And Berman is 12. And 11 is Ocon. Right. And on 10 is, we're not going to top 10. Bortoletto is 10. Lawson is 9th. Right. That's surprising. Right. Haja is 8. Sonoda is 7. Sonoda's moved up quite a lot, right? Right. And of course, Russell is 6. Right. Albon is 5th. That's a surprise. Albon is 5th. And then we've got Verstappen is 4th. And then, of course, 3rd is Leclerc. Charles Leclerc. And then, of course, Piastri is 2nd. And the 1st is Lando Norris, right? Yep, my skin looks a bit glowing. Yeah, maybe that's business of lighting. Yeah, where's Mr. Ricky? Yep, he'll be back. He'll be back soon, right? I'm sure he'll be back, right, when the time comes, right? Guys, don't forget to please smash the like, right? Don't forget to smash that like, guys. All right, formation lap will be starting behind the safety car. Then they will make their decisions to see how it goes. And there will be some cars starting in the pit lane too. So I'm not sure what those cars are. Maybe, and of course, switching power units and all that. Right. All right, now we're going all wets at the moment. Let's see how this goes. The formation lap's going to start, whether the cars are going to go out and whether they're going to come back in. Right. But they do have intermediates, right? All of them are still starting set on wet tires. All of them are starting on wet tires here, guys. Every one of them is starting on wet tires. The rain is still pouring. You can see the droplets coming in. So most probably we're going to start with wets. Then after that, it will go back to intermediate. All right, guys. Countdown is on for the formation lap. All right. The wet tires will shift 85 liters of water, but let's see how that goes. All right, there goes the safety car. Safety car goes off. All right, let's see. Yep. Of course, now we're looking about all the visibility issues, right? No, they're all on inters. They're not even on wets, guys. They're all on inters, right? But the spray is coming up, right? So they're all on inters now, not even on wet, right? But the rain is still is coming down. Why then they on wets? That's the question, but they're all using inters at the moment, right? But there's a lot of water on the track, guys. A lot of water on the track. So there is a big chance that this race might be, how would you call, right, delayed a bit, right? But the thing is that if you delay it, there are about 4 cars starting from the pit lane. Look at that. You can't even see what's behind you. But the thing is, if you don't start the race, right, if you don't put on the wet tires and at least get the water out of the track, right, then how long are you going to wait, right? You're going to wait 1-2 hours until the rain stops, cancel the race, then there'll be such a waste, you know? But the problem is that not everywhere is fully wet, right? There's not everyone putting out umbrellas. Some places, there are certain pockets, right? Yeah, because this track is over mountainous areas and all that. It's got up and downhill, right? Elevation in the tracks, right? So it goes up and it comes down. So a certain part of the tracks can be quite dangerous, right? But over now, let's see how that goes, right? The total weekend amount is 300,000 people, nearly 400,000 people, right? Over the weekend. Right, that's 5 days or 4 days, right? Yeah, starting procedure is suspended. So that's a red flag. So if it's a red flag, everyone is going back into the pits. All right, guys, I guess the race is delayed. There's a red flag. I'm not sure what time they're going to put it back to start on. So let's see whether anyone is going to be jumping on, right? The links are out there. I'm not sure whether Wayne is going to jump on, right? All right, yeah. Let's see what happens. So even Lando Norris can't see, so the race has gone to red flag, guys. The race has gone into red flag. So let's see what's going to happen now. How long are they going to give? 15 minutes? Right? Can they do that? All right, now let's see what's happening now. Well, they change all to full wets. All right, let's see whether they change all the way to full wets here. And all of them are going back into the pits. Let's see how that goes, guys. Let's see how that goes. There's a high possibility even the race might be called off, guys. Let's see how that goes here. Right? I still remember in the old days, right? The weather is worse than this and we still go racing. Nowadays, I don't know, I guess it's for the safety of the drivers. We don't go racing, right? So, yeah. The best part is that they understand why aren't they just going around the track, right? Use the safety car, go around the track to push the water off the track. That's what should be done, right? Big up, Mr. K. You're going to join me, Mr. K? I'll send you the link, Mr. K. Right? Have a bit of chat, right? Since you're waiting for the F1 race to start, right? Let me know if you want to join me, Mr. K. I'll send you the link. All right. Big up. Hope you're doing well. And the thing is, they ain't going to give it a couple of laps just to see. Why don't they let the cars run around, right? Let's hope. Why don't they let the cars run around, clear the water off the track, right? Why don't they all put on full wets then? Put on full wets at least, you know. Putting out tire. a bit busy to pop on. Okay, Mr. K, no worries. If you're free, just let me know. Right, if you're free, let me know. All right. Mr. K is single available. Yes, Donna Cullen. Mr. K is not single and he's not available. All right. Uh, that's what you always ask, Donna. That's what you always ask. Yeah. All right, guys. The race has been delayed because of the weather conditions. The race is wet, right, at the moment. But the thing is that we don't see any standing water, right? The only thing is that, like what the commentators say, why don't they just let the cars go around, right, and clear the water off, right? And they're all still sitting in the car. Are they all coming out? When it rains, Max rains. Look at that. Yeah, that's what it says. When it rains, Max rains, right? Right. Yeah, only have one wife. So yeah, 3 free slots left. Oh yeah, we forgot, Mr. K. We're Muslim, right? We can take up to 4 wives. 3 slots left. Yo, Mr. K. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right. Play. Yep. Drivers are coming out of the car now. Okay. So we'll be waiting for some time for this race. So let's see how it goes, right? Whether they're talking whether they're going to do some adjustment to Esteban Ocon's rear wing, right? Right. All right, guys. The weather is playing havoc to this race at the moment, right? So let's see what happens at this moment, right? What else can we chat about, guys? Anybody want to chat about something? Just put the questions into the chat, right? We can talk about football. We can talk about F1. We can talk about tennis, right? Yeah. Came back to F1 because Max definitely not going to win. Yeah. I know you don't like Max Verstappen, right? Yeah. You remember the time, Mr. K, when we used to do watch alongs with Steven, right? About 2 or 3 years back, right? Yeah, when Max Verstappen was being bitchy and whining, and right, visibility standards are low. So the problem now is timing now. Will they start the 3 hours now, right? Because race has to finish within 2 hours, and of course there's a 3 hour, right? Because due to the lighting and all that, right? But at the moment now, let's see what happens. We will find out, right, whether the stewards are going to make the announcement. How long are they going to wait? There should be one more formation lap coming up. Just put on wet tires and let them go racing. That's all I can say. Put on wet tires and let them go racing. That's a weird thing. Leclerc's chasing shoes, or just putting on shoe covers. And look at the weather. Is it visibility or standing water? So its visibility is the issue. It's not standing water. So yeah, visibility and not standing water. But you don't let the cars go around, right? You ain't gonna have the water leaving the slots, right? So yeah. Okay, Mr. K, can I get all 3 slots, right? What's the transfer fee? You can't take all 3 slots, right? Because right, being Muslim, we are entitled 4 wives. So one wife or can't take all 3 slots, right? You know what I'm saying, Donna? So yeah, and there's no transfer fee, right? Maybe there'll be a what call a dowry or something, right? If I get 3 out of 4 shares, yeah, shares would be mine. If I get three-quarter shares would be mine. 3/4 shares. Most probably, if there's just 2 wives, then you get 50-50, right? Right. Whatever happens, you get 50-50, right? But if there's 4 wives, you're gonna share 4 ways, right? Then if you have 2 wives, then you share 50-50. If you have 3 wives, then it'll be 33.33% each for you guys, right? So yeah, but having 1 wife is enough, right? Having 3 will be, yeah. Oh yes, all 4 must be treated equally. If you got 2, all got to treat. If one takes 3 slots, then it's not fair. Yeah, on the one. Yeah, that's true. It's okay. That's true. All right. All right. Because this track, right, runs a very, very big track that goes through the mountains and all that, right? Expecting heavy rains in 9 minutes again. So the rain is going to get heavier, right? The only question now is that what they call the rains off. And of course, the 3 hour mark has stopped, right? But the track is good enough for intermediates, right? I can pay the transfer fee to your current club. Right. There's no transfer fee involved in this. All right. There's no transfer fee involved. Right. You can ask Mr. K that he's more familiar with it, right? Right. More familiar with that. Yeah. Then you're gonna negotiate with the first wife. How much is the transfer fee? Right. Do you have a release clause that I can pay? Right. I will pay more than the release clause. Oh yeah. The release clause is negotiable, Donna. The release clause is negotiable. So 9 minutes, we're going to wait, right, for the heavy rain to pass. Then after when that heavy rain passed, right, then most probably we have to go out again on a run to test, right, to see again on formation lab to see how the spray is going on, right? So that's all I can say now, right? Standing water, I think in Spa-Francorchamps is not that bad because it's quite a hilly kind of a scenario. So they do have a very good drainage, but as I said, it's the visibility. You won't get puddles hanging here and there, but the problem is that because of the spray coming out from the back of the rest of the car tires, you can't see what's in front of you. And there was a lot of examples that we saw in Spa, during the not Spa, in the Silverstone race, right? A lot of people couldn't see what's happening, and they were crashing into each other's back. So they were crashing into each other's back, all right? And let's see what Mr. K says. For some seasoned drivers, they're good in the wet. Yes, Mr. K. That's what I'm saying. I find it a bit weird, right? I still remember, let's say 3 or 4 years ago, this time of weather, we still go out racing, but you know, it's gone off now. A little bit of water seems to scare everyone nowadays. I don't know why, right? And then you know, we used to love to see them go in the wet because, honestly, to tell the truth, right? I watch F1 because more or less sometimes for the accidents, right? That's when the excitement comes, right? But you see the mastery of being a wet weather driver, right? Nowadays, you don't even get a chance to see that anymore. And the thing is that I don't understand why don't they put them on full wets, right? Put them on full wets, right? Go behind the safety car, move the water out of the track, right? 5-10 laps, right? At least the race is on, right? But now they've gone back all, right? Yeah. Are you seasoned in wet stuff, Mr. K? Yeah. We're all seasoned in wet stuff, right? Yeah. Release clause is confidential and can be divulged to the first wife. Yes, the release clause, right? Yeah. Mr. K has to sign an NDA, right? Like the Morgan Gibbs White scenario. Morgan Gibbs White scenario. Yeah. Right. All right now, right? We're waiting for the race to start, guys. Okay, whilst we're waiting for the race to start, I'm just going to take a ciggy break, right? Don't mind, guys. You can keep checking. Yeah. I didn't know you can talk dirty too. Yeah. Donna Cullen. I hope you're doing well, Donna. Right. Instead, I can contact your agent. Oh no. Agent is the first wife too, right, Donna? Just so that you know. Agent is the first wife too. All right, heavy rain in 4 minutes coming in. Let's see how heavy it's going to be. All right. I guess the weather in Europe now has gone haywire. That's why a lot of these races used to be put during the summer when the weather is hot and all that. Right? That's why I told you, Donna, the wife is the agent too. Right? So that's the thing. Wife is the agent too. Hamilton is at 18, Mr. K. Look at that. Lewis Hamilton's 18. He didn't get out of the first qualifying rounds. Right? All right, they're all supposed to stop. They're all instructions coming in now. Now we're waiting another 4 minutes to see how heavy the next batch of rain is coming. And maybe after the next batch of rain comes, right, and if it blows over quickly, we will have. Good evening, Eva, man. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Eva, I'm doing a Formula One watch along today. Eva, on Thursday, I will be doing the watch along for the North London Derby, right? Hope you're doing well. I'll throw the link into the chats, right? If you're there, right, maybe you can show us some scenes from the stadium itself, Eva, right? I mean, you don't have to reveal yourself, but just show us some scenes, right? If you're there, Eva, right? Whilst we're doing the watch along, or maybe before the watch along starts, right? Hope you have a good game and a good time at the new Kai Tak Stadium whilst the game is going on, right? And of course, Mr. K said, and to make it worse, right, the wife also decides on the second, third, and fourth wives. Yes, to tell you, Donna, the first wife has to approve all the other wives if we are allowed to marry the second, third, and fourth, right? So yeah, right. That's the thing. Yes, yes. I know you're there. I know you can't wait. Big up to you, Eva. I wish I could be there with you too, but sorry, couldn't make it. Right. So let's see how that goes. Right. Maybe you can give us some we call few snippets. Right. Direct from the stadium. Right. Let's see. I know a lot of people complain about Wi-Fi. You know, whenever they're in the stadium, they can't get good Wi-Fi. Maybe in Asia we have better data and Wi-Fi in the stadium. Maybe you can show us some pictures from the stadium over there, right? Right. And the thing is that what if no, not approved? Yeah, not approved, not approved, right? And we can't do that, right? That's not halal. Don't forget that part, right? Not halal. All right, the next band of rain is coming up. Imminent rain coming up. Rain is coming back soon. Okay, thanks, Eva. Don't forget, I'll put the stream, the link into the chats if you're watching the show, the what thing, right? Then maybe you can show me something there. Thanks, Eva. Thanks. Hope you have a good time there. Are you going alone, or are you going with some of your kids, or maybe your husband, right? Or are you going with a group of the Hong Kong Spurs fans, right? It'll be good if you can get some Hong Kong Spurs fans right on, have a chat with me, right? We can talk Cantonese too, no problem. We can speak in Cantonese too, right? Yeah. And of course, Donna, Eva is a mother. I'm not sure. She's a mom, if I'm not mistaken, right? And most probably Eva will answer that question. Yeah. Most probably, I think she's married. Right? I'm gonna tell you, I'm not sure. Could be a man. Could be a man. Right? But nah, Eva is a woman. All right, guys. We're waiting for the next part of the rain to come through. Right? Look at that. Now Mr. K is getting jealous. Oh, and to tell the truth, right? The fans are all waving, they're not holding up the umbrellas. So I guess the weather is okay then, right? Yeah. She should be even man. Man, yeah, I'm going with my son and daughter. Oh, that's nice, right? Was a Mother's Day present. Yeah, I remember. You told me it's a Mother's Day present, right? Yeah, that's good, right? Uh to tell the truth, Donna, Eva, Man is her surname, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? So yeah, that's her surname, right? That's good, right? Mother's Day present from her kids, right? So the only thing is that Eva, are your kids Spurs fans too? Oh my god, if your kids are Spurs fans too, then that's gonna be fun, right? Don't tell me they're Arsenal fans, right? If they're Arsenal fans, then there'll be rivalry in the family, right? And Donna Cullen says that I need to sign someone before the transfer window ends. Spurs needs to sign someone too, right? Yeah. It might take me long to find out your release clause, right? Yeah, Miss Man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me see what this is, right? Yeah, yeah, Miss Eva woman, Eva woman. Yeah. All right, guys. The drivers are all just relaxing in their yeah. Oh, they are not. Luckily, they are not, but they're just there to accompany her, right? Eva, the kids are there to accompany her, right? Right. Let's see that Mr. K says the wife is writing up a new contract as we speak. Okay, right. So that means that Mr. K's release clause is going to go up then, right? Release clause is going to go up and wages are going to go up too. So, Donna Cullen, if you want that, you're going to match the release clause and Mr. K's wages, right? Mr. K's wages and demands, right? So let's see how that goes. Okay, they're gonna expect heavy rain coming in now. And it's gonna be a 30, 40-minute delay. Another 30, 40-minute delay before we actually get going. All right, guys, this race is gonna start most probably at 4 p.m. Right? So sunset is not going to be so late, right? So, right, yeah, yeah. Okay, Mr. K don't get wages. He says he has to pay wages. So, all right. Now that's the thing is, most of Mr. K you have to negotiate wages, right? Ah, this is a good one. Yeah, Mr. K is a wife of Nottingham Forest fan. I don't think Mr. K's wife is a Nottingham Forest fan. Right, guys, there are 8 of you in here, right? Please smash the like and subscribe, right, to Spurs Vision TV, Ricky Villa TV, and of course, Chef Spike Spurs, right? That's how I see it, right? At the moment, we are still waiting for the race to start, and the race has been delayed for at least another 1 hour before we can get this race going, guys. Before we can get this race going, right? The umbrellas are up now. The rain is heavy, getting heavier, right? And of course, there is a sweeper out there to push the water away. I'm not sure whether that will help, right? Let's see whether that will help, guys, right? Whilst all the drivers are all sitting in their paddock, not in their respected uh, pit area and all that, while they're waiting, right? The only thing is that I was saying, why didn't they let the cars go around, right? Right? Let the cars go around. And Donna Cullen is saying, Mr. K, we can transfer her somewhere then. Maybe a transfer to her the Spurs, then you can yeah, no, you can't transfer the wife out, right? That's the thing, you can't transfer the wife out, right? Just only whether the husband's willing to wife is willing to let the husband get a transfer. Don't forget, right? She holds all the keys to all that, right? All right, now look at Liam Lawson. He did quite well. He's in the top 10. All right. Yuki Tsunoda's in the top 10 too. Right. And she knows Spurs is a meme club too, right? Yeah. Yeah. And this track used to be very long. Now they cut it short, right? Cut it real short, right? Yeah, those were the days, right? Oh dear, no. Can we trigger the sign for the Saudi Pro League? Saudi Pro League, that's a good one. Okay, either go to Al Hilal or Al Nasser, right? Okay, Eva, I'll catch up with you on Thursday, right? Whilst I do the watch along, right? Hope you're doing well, right? Hope you have a good Sunday. Hope you've taken dinner, right? Because now it's really 9:30 p.m. Most probably in Hong Kong too, just the same time as Malaysia, right? Take care, Eva. I'll see you on Thursday. All right, we'll catch up again then, right? And at the moment now, we are all waiting for the race to start, right? The rain delay has put a big damper on this scenario. Let's see what's happening here. Let's see whether the race. Will they call off the race? I don't know. They've done it before because I've seen them done it before in Malaysia, right? When the monsoon hit, right? The cars really couldn't drive, and the rain kept raining for at least 2-3 hours. So in the end, that race was called off, right? But here comes the rain. Yeah, the rain is pouring down now. Rain is pouring down now, guys. The rain is pouring down, right? So whilst we're waiting, what are we supposed to talk about? Should we talk about Spurs? Should we talk about football? Should we talk about food? Should we talk about weather? Right? How's the weather here? How's the weather there? What else can we talk about? Is there anything to talk about? Anything to read about? Let us go through. Let's see what we can find on BBC Sports here now. BBC Sports, right? What kind of? Let me see what kind of things are going on. Belgium Grand Prix has been delayed, right? Oh yeah, guys, we got the we'll call later on. We're gonna have the yeah. We should sing Levy's a cut. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we should all. How would you say later? We're gonna have the we'll call it the European Women's Finals coming up, right? Where England is gonna play Spain. Okay, England is playing Spain England lost to Spain in the World Cup. That's one thing we've known, we've seen. The thing is that when can England come back and actually, right, do one over Spain, right? So that's how we are waiting for now, right? England is playing Spain later, whilst we're waiting for the. All right, and of course there is. Yes, while this is happening, why don't I just go over, right? Arsenal 3-2 in Singapore. Elenga open scoring. Right, is the game over yet? No yellow card. Game over yet? Seriously, Austrian under 15 beat the shit out of the US national team when they were at the World Cup holders? Really? You're talking about the women's side? Women's game, Mr. K? I'm not sure about that, right? Okay, let's see how that goes now. Right, injury time now, 4 minutes added on. Okay, spoiler, just go there. Arsenal is 3-2 up. Yeah. Oh, Australian under 15 boys. Mr. K, you're talking about the Australian under 15 boys beat the US national team, which is being managed by Pochettino. Hold on, what did he say there? Austrian or Australian shit out of the US national team when they were World Cup holders. Where is the Australian national team, right? Oh, you're talking about the Australian national boys under 15 beat the women's team. World Cup. All right. Retired Wrexham FC beat them 12-0 also. Yeah. Or women's national team. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Wrexham. Wrexham is right aiming for the what call Premier League, right? They've got promotion 3 times, in the past 3 years. So they're in the championship this season, right? And they were linked to signing Christian Eriksen. So let's see how that goes, right? But it doesn't look that wet here at the moment. The pit area doesn't seem that wet, but certain other areas look a bit wet at the moment. Strange weekend. Today's a strange weekend, right? And all right, Bayern Munich is preparing for an improved Diaz bid of more than 60 million. Right? Bayern Munich wants Luis Diaz, right? Bundesliga team initially, put 58.6, but now they're going to put something past 60, right? I guess Liverpool needs to sell some players, right? Because they've spent nearly over 300 million, right? If I'm not mistaken, close to 300 million, right? So in short, women's football is not for me. I can't take anyone seriously who wants to watch them other than to have a laugh. No, I know, right? Portugal Premier League, how will Gyökeres fare? I don't care. Most probably they'll be second again, right? The women English team is completely racist. Top to bottom. All right, let's see how that goes. Yeah, let's see how that goes. Right. So visibility is bad. It'll take some time to clear. Why don't they let them go round? They should go round and help clear, right? And of course, Rashford makes first Barcelona appearance. Right? Barcelona, Rashford played 33 minutes on the first appearance in the 3-1 friendly win over Japanese side Vise Kobe. Barcelona played Vise Kobe earlier. If I'm not mistaken, they won 3-1. And this game had some controversy. It was more or less being called off because their promoter had some problems. And then it was back on, right? So Rashford did play for, right? All right. What else do we have? Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, Manchester United beat West Ham 2-1 earlier in the preseason friendly, playing against West Ham in the MetLife Stadium, right? So Matheus Cunha and Mbeumo, it was their first captain who proved the difference. So Cunha and Mbeumo did start, right? So let's see how that goes. And of course, there's rumors that Arsenal is closing in onto Eze. So let's see how that goes. Whether Arsenal will be challenging, right? Everton beat for Arsenal, right? But Moyes needs 6 more players, right? So Everton needs to spend more money. And of course, there's the Donnarumma rumors, right? Donnarumma, right? Let's see how that goes, right? And of course, Tour de France, Pogacar is more or less sealed it, right? Unless something happens to him. But usually, once they reach the Sunday, it's just going to be a formation right all the way to the line. Right, okay. Mr. K says abuse and racism against black women footballers in England was proven, and white women players stayed quiet or acted. Yeah, it's all proven. Yeah, we all can see it. Right, we all can see that. But all right, Wisa. Okay, Wisa threatens not to play for Brentford. But we were linked to Wisa, right? But now he wants to go to Newcastle. So we've lost out on that race too, right? We've lost out on that race too, right? Guys, and I was saying 2 weeks ago, or maybe 20 days, I mean, about 2 weeks ago, when we got kudos, and then when we got the Morgan Gibbs White part, right? Big up, Luca. Hope you're doing well. I see that you guys have beaten Newcastle in Singapore, right? And on Thursday, we'll be playing you guys in the North London Derby. I'll be doing a watch along. I'm not sure whether you'll be doing one too, right? And I'll be hoping to get some live views from Hong Kong, Kai Tak Stadium. I'm sorry, too bad I couldn't make it, right? So I wasn't able to go, right? Under Giles, let's see how that goes, right? Visa wants to go to Newcastle, right? Spurs, and of course, Mr. Case says that Ishak is definitely leaving, right? If Ishak is leaving, I guess what can we say? He's going to Liverpool, and if he leaves, right? I heard Newcastle is going for Sesko, while Spurs are just still sitting around doing nothing, right? And of course, we have been linked to Paulinia. Guys, I do have to remember Spurs fan for so long. I've been doing so much Spurs content. I've seen this go past, right? So when the Morgan Gibbs White deal was announced, right, and when they were telling me the club is willing to put up 60 million pounds right up front, all up front to buy him, I was going, are you sure? I don't think that's going to happen. Then after that, a few days later, or more or less immediately, we find out there was a breach of contract. There was this, there was that. Sorry, there was an NDA. There was this, there was that. There were legal issues going on, right? And of course, he wasn't with the squad. Yep, he wasn't with the main squad. So most probably, we are playing Newcastle in South Korea, if I'm not mistaken, on the August the 3rd, right? 31st, we are playing. 31st, we are playing in Hong Kong against Arsenal in the North London Derby in Hong Kong, right? Then I think 2 or 3 days later, we'll be playing Newcastle in South Korea, right? And most probably after that, we'll see Sonny go off, right? Yep, we're playing Arsenal. Yeah, and Mr. K, Eva Man will be in that game live, watching that game live, right? Maybe we'll get some live coverage from Kai Tak Stadium from Eva Man, right? Kai Tak Stadium from Eva Man. So now we're waiting for the rain to clear. And now we're getting a bit of echo from the commentary. Right, let me see what else is going on. What else is going on? What else is going on in the world of football? Right, in the world of football. Right, Gyökeres. Right. Oh yes, and then of course there's the there's that MLS issue of Messi and Jordi Alba being suspended for one game because they didn't play for the All Stars game and all that, right? So they weren't too happy about that, right? Let's see what else is happening. Let's see now. Football. What's going on in football? Going on in football. Euro finals. Right, look at the Euro finals here. Right, BBC ITV secure 2027 World Cup rights for the women's side, right? England doesn't think they're underdogs against Spain, right? In this UEFA Euro finals, right? Right, record attendance, right? Euro 2020 for host. That's all about Euro 2025, the women's game. All right, I guess at the moment now, and of course, you know, Morgan Gibbs White signs new Forest contract. Nottingham Forest midfielder Morgan Gibbs White says he wants to be part of something special after signing a new 3-year contract at City Ground. 25-year-old future, right, was uncertain after Tottenham expressed an interest in the England international. BBC Sports earlier this month, Gibbs White was said to have a medical expert look to trigger a £60 million release clause, right? But Forest, right, had been considering legal action against the North London club, looking at whether a specific confidentiality agreement in the release clause had been breached. So, yabba yabba ya, and the Spurs fans go crazy, and we don't get the player, and we waste another 2 weeks, right? We waste another 2 weeks. A new captain for Spurs, maybe Vicario, to tear through Mr. K. I don't know. That's up to Frank, right? I'm not sure whether you watched the 2 games yesterday, right? The first game against Wickham, we drew 2-2 against a Wickham team, right? Of course, they are more ahead of us in their progress of their preparations for the league, right? But still, it's Wickham. Then we drew 0-0 with Luton, right? The games weren't that impressive. So, yeah, it's a bit, now we're a bit lost. We don't even know what kind of direction we're going. But it's a weird thing is that we did change the formation in the game. We did play three at the back. So three at the back doesn't look too exciting for Spurs at the moment. Because, you know, remember who we used to play three at the back with, right? Conte used to play three at the back too. So it is what it is. So that's all I can say. Right? Right. And of course, Gibbs White, right? 2 years left contract. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Let's see how that goes. So the Gibbs White thing, like I said earlier, was another smoke and mirrors game by the Spurs PR. We ain't gonna get him. While all the Spurs fan base was going, ooh, yeah, that's true. And that's true too. We played like shit against Luton. I know, I understand we did play like shit against Luton, but the thing is that we had so many youngsters, right? It was such a mix and match kind of squad going out there. It was such a mix and match squad going against Wickham. At least we scored a couple of goals there, but of course we conceded a couple of goals there. And it was a hell of a mix and match squad against Luton. So not many changes in the game. Like Frank said, right? He had to see more of the players. So I guess we will find out the core of his squad, right, coming for this Asian tour, because Daniel Levy ain't going to bring all of those players across the pond, you know, because of the money, right? So most probably, I guess, maybe Frank will have a choice of maybe 30 players maximum, right? Because we more or less have about 24 players or 23 or 25 players in the squad for the Premier League and, of course, Champions League, right? So the next few days, we will see who will be on the plane to Asia. Those players on the plane to Asia, right, will most probably be the few players that will be, right, in Thomas Frank's plans, right? But it's hard to say. Even we saw Richarlison get out a game yesterday at Wickham. Whether he will be part of the squad or not, we're not sure. But there were some players who weren't there, right? We didn't see Solomon play. We didn't see Bergwall play, right? But at least we did see Yang come out, have a run out, right? Some of the younger players had a run out, right? Some of them did have some gave an impressive performance, but it's preseason friendly, right? But that's what I'm saying. At least last season, preseason friendly, it was exciting. We saw a certain way of play, right? Even though we were all just gung-ho attack, but at least there was a certain pattern of play, right? This season, we still look a bit messy, right? Chaotic, right? We are not showing we'll call a consistent system that we can see that's out there that will work for Spurs, right? Guys, we still haven't there still hasn't been any notice from the stewards when the race is going to be starting, right? But as Mr. K said, all the players will make the squad except some of the youth that will go on loan. Yeah, I know. Mikey Moore is going on loan. That's what I heard, right? So Mikey Moore needs to go on loan. He needs to run off. He needs to play, right? A lot of our youngsters need to go on loan, right? And let's hope they may come back and become like a Harry Kane. Don't forget, guys, Harry Kane had about how many teams before he came back to Spurs to play and became, one of the most uh, prolific strikers for Spurs in a long, long time. So let's see whether Mikey Moore will turn out to be that. Donnelly, whether he'll be given a chance in the first team, right? We all need to have a look at that, right? So whilst we're waiting for that, we all can all say. But I don't think we'll be bringing all 40 players to Asia for this Asian tour. Maximum, I think, will be 30, right? Most of the senior players, I see them there. Son Heung-min has to be there, guys, right? If Son is not on the plane to Asia, something is very wrong, right? I'm not sure, but whether Son will be playing in Kaita, I think he will be, and I'm sure Son will be playing in South Korea, right? Don't forget, right? We need the money from Son, right? We need to sell tickets, we need to sell a jersey. After that, when we come back, right, whether Son will still be around, then that will be the question, right, for Son Heung-min, right? Because don't forget, there is interest from LAFC, from the MLS, right? LAFC from the MLS. They've, I think, put in a bid of 15 million pounds, but the club wants 20. So let's see whether they will break the bank for Sonny, right? But the thing is that Sonny is just not just a footballer. Sonny is a commercial investment, right? Because if he does go to South Korea, goes to LAFC, right? Most probably 50% of the Korean fans that support Spurs, right, will go over and support LAFC. And I was already saying it, right? I've been saying it. I said it in Sava's show, right? There's a huge South Korean community in LA, so there's a big support there too, right? Yeah, yeah. Thursday, Gyökeres will beat Spurs. Luca, football is not played by one person, right? So I wish you best of luck in Gyökeres, and we'll find out. I know, tell the truth, your improvements have been better than us, right? Let's see how that goes. Does it make sense for Sonny to leave London with his girlfriend? I have to say, I mean, Spurs will be bring. Yeah, I know what means. Oh, no means Spurs will bring European trophy. Not sure what you mean. What do you mean there, Luca? But yes, at least we have a European trophy, Luca. Right? You guys have not won a trophy in the past 4 to 5 years, right? The last trophy you guys won was a FA Cup. Take an FA Cup, right? Why can't we sign Sesko? Luca, you know that, right? Why can't we sign Sesko? Don't even have to ask that question, right? I don't know. Sesko, I don't know, the wages, I don't know, the transfer fee, you should know that, right? Why can't we sign players? Question is the board, Dan Levy, we are going back to we're all going back there again, right? All going back there again. It doesn't matter much, right? Why don't we sign proper players, right? Look at the White Affair. That's true, right? The White Affair was a smokescreen, Mr. K. I already said that we ain't gonna get him, right? I already said earlier we ain't gonna get him, right? When we were linked to him, I said we ain't gonna get him, and I've been telling everyone, right? When has Daniel Levy coughed up 60 million pound up front for a player? He doesn't do that, bro. We don't do that. You get what I'm saying? Huh? He almost probably won 24 installments or some shit like that over the past 20 years. Then he'll buy a player of that caliber and that price, right? So, and we're back to nothing has changed. Nothing has changed, right? The rain is pouring. I guess the rain is still pouring, right? And the guys are jumping around in the rain, right? Some of them have their raincoats on, some of them have got their umbrellas up, right? But now they're not allowed. Yeah. And of course, we can see. All right, because all right, there's news coming in from Stewards. What's all this about? All right, there's a new rule coming in because of the rain thing. I think they're allowed to stay more or less 10 to 20 car lengths behind the car. 10 to 20 car lengths behind the car. How the hell do you measure that? Right? Car is 5 meters. So each car must be about 100 meters apart from each other. 50 meters to 100 meters from each other. Right? All right, come on, FIA. Put the cars out. Let them run around. Eat up the laps. Right? And let's see whether we can get a race on here. Right? Once this heavy part of the rain stops, right? We need to put the cars out, let them out behind the safety car, right? And of course, let the cars run around, try to clear the water. Make all the drivers put on wets first, right? Let them put on wet, clear the water out, then let them come back in, put on the inters, then go out again, right? That's how I see it. Guys, all I can say is that now this will be the water on track. Everybody doesn't want to race anymore. What has happened to Formula One? All right, blue skies are opening up. All right. We are not out on full wets is because of visibility. Because the full wet tires puts out more spray. Right? Yeah, Mr. K. They normally start behind the safety car and the track is too wet. Then it clears the track. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why don't they do that, no? Because I think because a lot of shit happened during the Silverstone race, right? The cars were all too close to each other at the back, and even under the safety car, they were hitting each other. So now the stewards have put out, I mean, the FIS put out, right? The cars have to be 10 to 20 cars, right? Length of each car. So that's about 50 meters to 100 meters gap between each car. How do you measure that? That's one problem again. So, but you can see a bit of the sunlight breaking through. But if this rain, if they don't start this quick, right, rain will come back in again. And there's no official timing for the race to start. There's no signs of anything from the stewards yet when the race is going to start. And usually when it happens, let's see what happens now, right? The race is being suspended. We're all sitting down here, right? The race was supposed to start 45 minutes ago. There might be a 1 hour delay. The worst part is they say 2 hour delay. If it's a 2 hours delay, right? This race will go on until what time, right? The race will start at 11, end past 12. Right. So as I can see it now, right, they should put the cars out, let it run around, at least cut down the laps, right? So at least the race might end faster, right? If they keep hanging on this way, right? I think in the next 10 minutes time, they will have to make a decision what to do with this race. Let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. You can see blue skies coming up now, right? The clouds have all moved off, right? There are white clouds around. Not too dark, but certain areas are dark, right? Because this course is a very big course, right? It runs through a lot of area. It's happening now. What's happening now, guys? All right. What biscuits is this guy having here? Everyone, right? Just being patient, waiting. The fans in the ground, they're all still patient, waiting, right? There is a sweeper that goes around, right? Pushing water away from the track. There should be an announcement be made soon, right? There's rain delay, guys, rain delay, right? So Okay, they say the race should be resuming about in a 15 minutes time. But we don't even see any of the we don't even see any of the drivers getting back into the driver's seat. So what's happening now? Right. Well, a lot of drivers are saying it was a correct decision to pull the cars back in. All right, we're gonna start very soon. That's what they say, right? We start very soon. Hopefully we'll start soon, guys. Hopefully start soon. Right? Uh, all right, all right, right. Yep. Race has been delayed. Right. Let's see how that goes, right? Let's see how that goes, right? Let's see how that goes, guys. Right. All right, now Mr. K says that, right? I'm happy that Red Bull's eating itself, right? Yeah, first try, I lost main engineer. Now team principal Max is toxic on the track and off it. Yeah, I know, I know. That's how that goes, right? To tell the truth, right? They should name Red Bull to Max Verstappen Racing. Christian Horner is gone, and Adrian Newey is gone, right? But Horner had his problems, right? Newey, I'm not sure why did they let him go. He's one of the best car designers. Now he's gone to Aston Martin, right? Let's see whether Aston Martin next seat, when the new car comes out, whether Aston Martin will be challenging for the title, right? Yeah. And of course, they say Max is leaving for Mercedes. I'm not sure now. Since Horner is gone, Max might stay on. But the problem is that if Red Bull can't produce a car for him to win things, he will surely leave, right? And of course, Mercedes is hovering in the background, trying to get him there. But let's see how it goes, right? We'll only find out next year when the new rules come in with the new chassis and engine. Then we'll see how it goes, right? And there is some sunlight coming in through, right? There is some sunlight coming in too, right? Yeah, Toto has talked with Max privately. Yeah, that's what we heard too. Toto had talks with him, but at certain parts, it's still raining. So we all know that in an F1 track, right? Certain parts of the track will have sun, certain parts in the track will have rain. It is what it is, right? Because an F1 track is takes up a really big area, right? But okay, guys, 5 more minutes. Let's see if we get any decisions from the FIA and the stewards. Will they start this race or will they end this race, right? There is no standing water, but they say the spray will be too thick. So visibility will be bad, right? So all I can say is that why don't you just put red lights behind the cars when it's raining, so at least the drivers can see where the other cars are, right? And there's certain parts where the sun is breaking out, breaking through the clouds, right? That's all I can say, right? And of course, Hamilton has been complaining about his rear end, right? And the rain will mess his car up. Yeah, that's true, right? Hamilton hasn't been having a good time at Ferrari at the moment, right? He's still trying to get used to this car. But to tell you, if I'm not mistaken, Hamilton will be more focused on the following year, right? For the new car that's coming out, right? That should have some changes. There should be some certain parts there, son. All right. Sun is coming out in certain parts of the track, but certain parts, it's still wet. So all right, let's see what Yuki Tsunoda has to say now. Ferrari needs Horner, and that will be Hamilton's first choice. Oh, let's see how that goes. Whether Ferrari will get Horner or not. All right. Yuki Tsunoda is saying, right, it's all about the visibility, right? You still can't see, right? So I said, if it's wet weather, right, why doesn't the FIA just put out red lights behind each car all the time, right? Don't let them blink. Let them be stagnant red lights out there. So at least the drivers who are following cars behind, right, can actually see, right, the car in front. That's all I'm saying. But I don't know. All I know is that F1 has turned woke. I don't know. As F1 turned woke, is all this becoming a bit what? See, some of the cars, they're taking off the. All right, I see they are closing up all the covers. That's a good sign. They're taking off the covers now, right? The next part is that to see the drivers get into the seats, right? Once the drivers get into the seat, that means there will be some action going on. But at the moment now, right, the FIA still, the stewards haven't put out the time limit. Usually there will be a time limit put out there before the race commences, right? But at the moment now, we don't see no time limit, nothing going on there, right? They're closing up all the covers for the cars. They're opening up back the cars, right? Hopefully soon the drivers will be getting into the car, right? Maybe the race will start in another 15 to half an hour's time. And let's see whether we will get this race on the go, right? Let's see whether we get this race on the go, guys. And even the fans are taking off their raincoats, right? Fans are taking off their raincoats. The umbrellas are coming off now, right? The umbrellas are coming off. All right, umbrellas are coming off, guys. The umbrellas are coming off. All right. Umbrellas are coming off. All right. Yeah, this is what. Anything else going on? Nothing going on. Okay, the 3 hours rule won't apply because the race hasn't started. So that means the race will go on. All right, guys. I guess the drivers are all standing next to their cars now. They'll be getting in, but they're not putting on their helmets or anything. So there's no indication from the stewards when the race is going to start. All right, now, right? A lot of fans have taken off their raincoats. They're going to put up the umbrellas, right? The awning, we call the covers for the cars have been taken off, right? The drivers putting on the helmets. Once the drivers start putting on the helmets, there's an indicator the race will be starting soon. Yes, drivers are putting on the helmets now. So the drivers will be getting into the cars soon. Or they're just trying. Is he just testing the helmet? Nah. Right. Max Verstappen is still in his paddock, looking at the screens and all that. So I guess there's no news, right? They're not even putting on their fire suits on at the moment. Fireproof suits. Right. Let's see what happens now. Let's see what happens now, guys. Let's see what happens now. All right, guys. The safety car is going out. Safety car is on the track now. The medical car is on the track. The medical car is on the track. The sweeper is still going around. All right. Once the medical car goes out to check the track, right? Let's see whether the start will start soon. The rain has passed over. Sunshine is poking through, but on certain areas. All right, we'll be soon. We're going to 10 minutes notice coming in. Yeah. Oh, they stove their gazebos. Okay, they call that the gazebos, right? All right. Close up all the gazebos. If you don't. Yeah, there's a question is that why don't they use full wet tires then? So they've got this visibility issue. That's why they haven't started the race, and that's why they don't put wet tires on. Like I said, put all the 20 cars, right, on full wets, right, run them out for 10, 20 laps, right, then they will clear up a dry line. Then let them come back in, put on inters, and go and race. Why are they doing that? Come on, right? Do that. Right? Like this area of the track is totally dry. Not much spray going around. Right? This part of the track is not that much spray going around. The medical car is going around at the moment, testing the track. Right? Certain parts of the track, yes, the spray is high, but certain part of the tracks, the spray is not that bad. Like this part of the track, yeah, spray is high. And the medical car is gone in. The medical car is gone and parked at one side. That's where the medical car is stationed. Let's see whether what's the report from the medical car now. Whether the drivers will be given the 10-minute notice time, right? 10 minutes notice time. Lawrence Stroll, yeah. Lawrence Stroll, right? Lawrence Stroll is Aston Martin owner, right? His son is the Aston Martin driver, right? Piastri is still sitting in the pits, right? Not even suiting up yet. All the drivers are all sitting in pits, not suiting up yet. Will there be any notice? Are we going to get some notice when the race is going to start? There's a Brazilian flag. Any more Brazilian drivers here? The sun is shining up. Yeah. The sun is out in certain areas. The sweeper is coming in now. All right. Race will resume at. Okay, race will resume in 14 minutes, guys. Right. In 14 minutes time, the race will start, guys. That means in 15 minutes time, right? 15 minutes time, the race will start. Let's see how this goes now. We will be starting the race behind the safety car, right? We will be starting the race behind the safety car. So now all the drivers will be rushing to get into the suits, put on their helmets, right? Right, and get into the car, sitting in the car, starting up the engine, right? Preparing for the race. Guys, the race is going to start, right? At last, the race is going to start. But let's see whether we get actual racing or we'll be just going behind the safety car, right? With this new rule of each car has to be 10 to 20 car lengths behind each car. So whether we can maintain that, right? If you're talking about 20 cars that's around, that means there'll be a train of 1 to 2 kilometers. Is it 1 to 2? No, sorry. 500 meters to a kilometer train going on. All right, guys, come on. Drivers are all putting on the suits, right? Fireproof suits are getting on now. Next thing, they'll be putting on the helmets, right? And we'll be getting the race on the way. Race will resume at 16:20. 16:20. 13 more minutes before the race goes. But guys, you know, I'm a bit slow, right? Because of the transmission. If you guys are watching ahead of me, all right, let me know. All right, but there are still clouds hovering around, right? So whether it's going to be a mix, right? Rain, stop, sun, rain, stop, sun. Let's see how that goes. We'll see Toto Wolff walking out. Toto Wolff. Right, Toto Wolff. Right, all right, guys, ciggy break. Let's take a ciggy break before the race starts. All right, guys, let's see now. All right, guys, put on your fire suits, right? Put on your helmet, get into the car. But the drivers will get in the car 5 minutes before the time is up. So now we have another 12 more minutes to go, right? Leclerc has got his fire suit on, his helmet's on, he's walking towards the car. Leclerc's walking towards his car. And Leclerc gives Toto Wolff a clap shake. Clap shake, not a handshake, a clap shake. Yeah, maybe that's a new word that I've created. Clap shake, right? Yeah, clap shake. Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to carry water into the car and put it on your pedals. Don't want to make your pedals slippery. Yeah, all the drivers have got little shoe booties, right? So before they get into the car, they'll take off the shoe booty, right? So they take off the shoe booty now before they get into the car. They don't want to have wet shoes getting into their car and have wet pedals. That will make it dangerous. They might cause some slip somewhere. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton is all the way back at 18. Let's see whether he can make up spaces to get into the podium or into the points, right? All right, here comes Max. Max is coming on. All of the drivers are all suited up, right? All suited up, helmets on. Yeah, getting back on the way now. Getting back on the way. All right. All right, 10 more minutes to go. Sun's out. And let's see how quickly the track dries. Guys, please smash the like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, right? That'd be good. Let's see how it goes now. Let's see how it goes now, guys. Here we go now, right? 9 minutes, 8 minutes more before the race starts. Verstappen is stepping up into the car now. They're all getting into the car, preparing. And of course, they have to take off their booties, right? Take off the booties. Yeah. Take off the booties. Yeah. All right, now it's going to get, let's see what happens, right? Verstappen is going in. They've got to strap in. Safety belts on. Gloves goes on. Safety belt first, then the gloves. Then you do link up the water intake that they have, right? Yeah, guys, it's all wondering, right? How do all these F1 driver piss? How do they piss, right? That's the one. Right? Do they have to run to the toilet and piss first before or take a dump? Right? If you need a dump, right, just don't need a dump while driving, right? Take a piss when you're driving. Maybe pissing part is one thing, but then dump part, right? Let's see how that goes, guys. Let's see how that goes. The race is going to start soon, guys. Another 8 more minutes, right? Bottafello, look at Bottafello. Right, they're going to start the engines up soon. Albon is in his car too. They're all tightening up some of them tying up their laces, right? Fernando Alonso is tightening up the laces, hops into his car, right? Here comes George Russell, hop and a skip, right? And they climb up, take off the booties, fly into the car, right? Lando Norris, right? Lando Norris seems to be just putting on his suit now in a rush. Piastri is already in his car. Piastri is in his car. They're all strapping in. Safety belt on. Yeah. Water link put on. The sun is out. It's a good sign, right? Let's see whether the track will dry up, right? Whether it be changes into slicks, right? Because the last time during the Silverstone race, right, a lot of cars went on early on slicks and it didn't work out, right? It cost a lot of them points and all that. So let's see how that goes, right? Let's see how that goes. All right, let's see what we have here. This message. Let me see what it said. Yeah. All right. Let's see how that goes, right? Okay, who cares that? All right, okay. Okay, Elias. Yeah. I'm doing F1 stream now, Elias. They're all in now. We're down to 6 more minutes. Yeah. Okay, Lando Norris looks super relaxed, right? Everyone is rushing into the car. He is just, right, ambling down to the car, right? Setting up. All right, Yuki Tsunoda is there. All the drivers are in their cars, right? 5 more minutes before the race starts. Sunshine is coming out. #100th anniversary of the Belgium Grand Prix, bro. 100 years. This is a really historic track. All right, guys, 4 more minutes. And of course, McLaren is a dominant team, right? But before anything starts, I need to adjust some things, guys. Just hold on. Bear with. Is it okay? All right, the race will start soon, guys. Race will start behind the safety car. All right. Minimum 2 laps behind the safety car. That's what the news is, right? 2 laps behind the safety car. Right, the race will start in 4 minutes. Race will start behind the safety car, right? The safety car will go 2 laps, and then they will see whether the the spray is it too thick, visibility will be okay. 4 minutes now, 3 minutes now, 3 minutes before the race starts. People are sticking out their handphones through the railings to take videos. Two more minutes, if I'm not mistaken, 2 more minutes before the race commence. But it's that true, right? The race actually hasn't started yet, right? The safety car, you're behind the safety car first. You go 2 laps or so, or 3 laps, depending on the judgment of the safety car, right? And there's always been this rule, right? The emergency helicopter has to be there. You're not mistaken. Sometimes they need 2 helicopters to be there, standby, right? Just in case any major accident happens, they need to airlift the drivers to the hospital ASAP, right? All right, guys, 2 minutes before the race commences, or when the safety car starts. All right, I guess engines will be starting soon. Engines will be starting soon. Once the tire covers come off. There's a long talk there. Who's talking there? Is it Norris? Norris having a long chat with his engineer. Okay, McLaren. Okay, 1 more minute. Yeah. And don't forget, guys, I'm about 30 or 40 seconds behind you guys. So you guys are ahead of me. Right? All right, they're cleaning up all the rear stack mirrors and all that. Right? Right, countdown to 1 more minute. Right? I think I'm about 30 seconds behind or 40 seconds behind. Not too bad. Right? Off comes the covers. Tire covers are coming off. They're all on intermediate tires. All intermediate tires. Right? We are 1 hour, 20 minutes behind. 1 hour, 20 minutes behind, guys. Right, tire covers are off. Right, tire covers are off. Okay, for most of you guys, you are faster than me. More or less, the safety car started. It's already 10:20. 15 seconds countdown for me here. 15 seconds countdown. Once the safety car moves. Once the safety car moves. All right, green light is on. All right. There it goes. Right. Cars are coming out onto the track. They're supposed to have at least 10 to 20 car length to each other. All right. So now we restart on lap 1 of 44. This is going to be considered as first lap of the race. There's no more formation lap, guys. These are actual laps behind the safety car. It will be counted. Yeah, and they do have so certain parts of the track seems there's a lot of spray. Right. First lap is a lot of spray. All right, the race has started. Considered officially first lap has started. And fuel won't be a problem now. All right, guys, let's see what happens here. All right. The straights are still quite bad. Corners are still quite okay. Cars are on track, so we can go racing. There's any standing water going around. All right, the cars are going off. Everyone's on inters. Just as long as nobody that skids off, have an accident, all that, I guess the race will start. If under the safety car, there are cars skidding off and running off or having an accident, right? Then the race will be delayed again. Let's see how this goes now. And this is a very long lap, right? Cars are all running all over the place, right? Drying up this. Then there are little streams that run across the track. And the track temperature has gone up. Will the safety car come in at the moment in time now? Any safety car coming in at the moment? Right, you need to extend the 20 car lengths. All right, looks ready to go, guys. Will the safety car come in anytime soon? All right, let's see. These tires can put 35 liters a second, right? Let's see how that goes. There's a spray that's coming off. We still don't know whether it's a rolling start or standing start at the moment, but I guess it will be a rolling start because the lap's already started. Yeah, it's drying up pretty quick, Hamilton is saying. Cars are, yeah, quite close to each other. Right. Where the safety car is coming in soon. All right, we are hoping to get the safety car information as early as possible. Yeah. Need to drive. Are they gonna have a standing start? No, they're gonna have a standing start, right? Let's have a rolling start. I got a third lap now. All right. Race director's decision whether it's a standing start, rolling start. The choice of intermediates or the slicks. Let's see what happens now, right? Right. Let's see what the race director is going to say. Whether we're going to have standing start or rolling start. There's a dry line showing up too, right? On certain areas. All right, safety car is coming in. Will the safety car come in now? One more lap. All right, got drone footage this week. Bus stop chicane is gone. Yeah, they modified this track to make it shorter. All right, the cars are swerving left and right. They're trying to clear up water. But what's going to happen to the intermediates, right? Come on. Certain area is still a bit wet. Okay, we're going to get a rolling start. We're going to get a rolling start. Safety car be coming in soon. Guys, the race will start soon. Okay, at least we're going to start. Let's see when the safety car is coming in. Are we going to start? Safety car coming in now. Waiting for the safety car to come in now. And of course, I guess safety car is coming in now. Norris has slowed down, bunching them all up. They're waiting for the safety car to get into the pits. Let's see how it goes now. The cars are all bunched up together, right? Norris is swerving left and right. There's still a slipstream effect for Oscar Piastri to overtake Lando Norris. All right, there starts the race has started now. All right, the race has started. Safety car's going to pin, and now we go. There we go. Right, the race has started. Leclerc, Verstappen, anyone overtake anyone? Here comes now. Piastri's on his tail, in his slipstream, and he go up the hill. And here comes Piastri. Piastri is gone past. All right, Piastri is gone past Norris. Piastri is gone past Norris. Piastri is gone past Norris. Oscar has gone past Norris. Now Leclerc's on Lando's butt. Lando Norris switching around. Piastri is breaking away. Max is comfortable too. Max Verstappen is on Leclerc's butt. But the problem is that, will Leclerc be able to get onto Lando's butt? All right. Lando's got electrical problems. All right, race has started, guys. Oscar has overtaken Lando. Lando's complaining that he's got no battery power. All right. Okay. Here comes Leclerc. But there's still no DRS in this condition yet, right? So, but PS3 is 1.1 clear. And George Russell overtakes Albon. Russell moves past Albon. But Lando Norris is moving off a bit, breaking away from Leclerc. But the thing is that Verstappen is on Leclerc's butt. Now let's see whether Verstappen can get past Leclerc. Hamilton's gone up to 17th. This race might be interesting, right? Slicks might come into play. Verstappen is chasing after Leclerc. Right. Certain parts of the track still has spray, certain parts of the track is turning dry. So now the question is that will slicks come into play? And the problem now is that how far can it go in these intermediates, right? Okay. Okay, so race is on now, right? The only problem now is that let's see how long can the intermediates last here, right? Certain parts of them they're looking for some dry line to turn up. Because you're on intermediates, right? You have to look for wet spots, right? To cool the tires down. If not, your intermediate tires will wear out really soon, right? The only problem that if there's a dry line that builds up, right? Whether the slicks can be put on. But like in the Silverstone race, right? There are certain parts of the track where it's still too wet to change the slicks. But some another Leclerc still be able to hold off from Verstappen. The dry line is coming up. But the problem is that there are dry lines in certain parts of the track, but not all the track. But the problem is that if you put on slicks, right? Once you hit the place that's too wet, the slicks will fly off. They still have to hang on to the intermediates until it's the correct time to put on slicks. All right, Lewis Hamilton goes past Sainz. Hamilton goes through. Antonelli goes off the track. All right, Hamilton up to 16. Max Verstappen is still chasing after. Leclerc struggling to keep. Look at that. Struggling to keep corners. Hamilton is taken off. Taken Gasly too. And of course, Hamilton is chasing after up. Now he's going up to 15, right? Now he's got Hülkenberg inside. Piastri is about 1 second ahead of Norris. Norris is about 3 seconds ahead of Leclerc. But of course, Verstappen is putting pressure on Leclerc. Right, Russell's 2 seconds behind Verstappen. Albon is about 1.8 seconds behind Russell. Then it's coming down to Tsunoda. Right, Leclerc is complaining about understeer. Cars are all sliding all over the place at the moment because of the scenario that we have here, right? Certain parts of the tracks are drying up, but certain parts of the tracks are still wet. Okay, Hamilton is overtaken Hülkenberg. He's going in our place, right? Okay, Hamilton has got who he's got up next, right? He's going to get up to Gasly. All right, guys. Dry tires are coming up now, but there's still a lot of places that are too wet for dry tires. So how are they going to do it now? Are they going to take a risk and put on slicks? All right. Leclerc is losing more and more time to the McLarens in front of them. Lewis is doing well. Took 3 cars in 1 lap. Lewis making the major moves on track now. But it's taking a bit of time to get past Gasly. Right, Lewis is doing well with his tires, right? He's chasing after Gasly. Other things that will the DRS be open soon? Certain parts. Okay, Hamilton's coming up. Hamilton overtakes Gasly. Okay, Hamilton takes another spot. Now he's going to chase after Bierman and Ocon. But they're about 2 seconds ahead of him. Verstappen is pressuring Leclerc now. All right. But Piastri says he's turning up into all right. Now the thing is that Leclerc is defending from Max. Most of the track is dry now. Sorry, most of the track there's a dry line turning up, but a few parts of the track has got still wet. But the thing is, Leclerc is still sliding all over the place. Here comes Verstappen. All right. Can he get it? Can he get it? No. No, I can't get through. But Leclerc, yeah. All right. Leclerc is defending well against Max, but Max is getting closer and closer. Right? They're still sliding all over the place. I think the tires are eating up. Right? Sooner or later, they will have to come in for the slicks, or they have to look for wet spots to cool the intermediate tires down. If not, the intermediate tires will wear off. Right? Piastri is still leading from Norris by about 1.5 seconds. There comes Verstappen. No, still can't pass Leclerc. And of course, all right. No, but Leclerc is still sliding all over the place, still being able to defend. Right? Gonna put on slicks now. Okay. Leclerc is fighting tooth and nail with Max. But Max has laid off a bit. Right? PS3 is pulling away from Norris, or maybe they're just playing tactical because sooner or later they have the double stack to put on. They have the double stack, put on the slicks, but still no signs of any safety car and all that now. But look, Max has fallen back quite far back, right? And there's this phase where the circuit is turning, the dry line is out now, right? The dry line is out now, right? So now they're going to look for wet spots to cool the tires down. Hamilton is going to box first. All right. Let's see what Hamilton's does now. Hamilton's Ferrari has to be slicks, right? Going on medium tires, right? Yeah, Lewis doesn't much to lose, right? Because he's already gone back to 17th. All right, Gasly's in the pits too. Hulkenberg's in the pits too. Alonso's in the pits too. All right, let's see what happens now. Leclerc now is about 10 seconds away from the top two. All right. What happened to Verstappen? Verstappen has dropped back about 10 seconds behind Leclerc now. Something must have happened to Verstappen. Timing right or wrong? What's going on? It's wrong. No, cannot be, right? They're talking behind the leaders now. All right. All right. Leclerc is still about half a second behind. Sorry, Verstappen is still about half a second behind. Okay. Leclerc goes to box. All right. PS3 has gone to box. Furthermore, DRS been enabled. PS3. All right, let's see what happens now. The pits are starting now. Let's see who's got the fastest pits time. All right, now. Let's see who's in now. Norris is leading now. Sonoda third. Hajar is fourth. Leclerc has come out fifth. Ocon is sixth. Verstappen is seventh. Russell is eighth. Leclerc drops back to sixth. Hamilton's gone up to 11th. All right, let's see what's happening here now. Ooh. All right. Leclerc is going to get looked at now. All right, it'll be noted. Dangerous release. Hamilton. Hamilton gets past Liam Lawson. That was close. All right, here comes Hamilton. Leclerc. Leclerc is just behind Ocon here. Oh, oh, Max. Oh. Okay, Russell is pressuring Verstappen now. So now what it's going to do now? Lando Norris coming in for Hearts. So Norris is going to run all the way, right, to the end on the hard tires. Will that work? Hamilton's gone up to 7. Hamilton's doing well. Lando Norris comes in. Okay, that didn't help. Okay, right. All right, change on. Leclerc. All right. Let's see what's happening now. Leaders, PS3 is about 8 seconds ahead of Norris, 15 seconds ahead of Leclerc, 16 seconds ahead of Verstappen. All right, Russell is coming in. Let's see whether Lando can go all the way. It's a long race, bro. Hamilton is pressuring Albon. All right. Hamilton is chasing after Albon. Right. Let's see what happens on the way now. Don't forget, guys, DRS is activated, right? So we'll be able, Leclerc be able to chase after Norris because he's on a hard tire. Hamilton's got DRS on Alex Albon. Hamilton is coming up. Russell's chasing after Verstappen. All right. Lando's doing well with the hard tires. Sonoda has dropped back all the way to 12. Not doing too well for Red Bull, right? Lawson is 8 ahead of the Red Bull, right? Racing Bull and Hadjar. Where's Hadjar now? Hadjar's coming up. Leclerc is still about 1/2 ahead of Verstappen, whilst Russell has got DRS zone, but still can't get close enough to overtake. Right, so does Hamilton. But the thing is that can Hamilton overtake Albon to join that 3, 4, 5, 6 race to get the last podium? But of course, Russell is making up space on PS3 is having a lone race out there. Here comes Lando. And from Lando now you see Leclerc. Leclerc's about 1 second ahead. Verstappen has got the fastest lap. Russell is giving Leclerc some pressure. Clipping on the main straight. Okay. Hamilton is coming to get closer to Albon, but now he's dropped back a bit. Is Russell still? No, just off the DRS zone. Oh, still got his DRS zone. Catching up. Someone of Verstappen is having some problems. So whenever there's harvesting, it's called clipping. All right. Leclerc's gone fastest now. Beerman is catching up to. Getting past the Martin. Seriously, both cars they're gonna go all the way to the end, either on the mediums or on the hards. That means Norris will have the advantage, right? If it's on the hard. Can Lando last all the way? That's the question. On the hard. So Noda is still 12. So there's another 26 laps ago. Antonelli, can he make it over Colapinto? No, Antonelli is the Mercedes. At the moment now. All right, first is PS3, second is Norris, third is Leclerc, fourth is Verstappen, fifth is Russell, sixth is Albon, seven is Hamilton. All right, then comes Lawson, Hulkenberg, and Bortoletto. Then it's Gasly, Sonoda, Bierman, Alonso, Colapinto, Antonelli, Stroll, Hadjar. Right. So this race hasn't got any retirees or DNF yet. All right. Lance Stroll taking. Okay, he passed Hadjar. Something's wrong with Hadjar then. Because Lawson is all the way on 8th and Hadjar's all the way at 18. There must be something wrong with Hadjar's car. All right. Antonelli is coming up to Bierman's butt. Sorry, Colapinto's butt. Norris has gone fastest on the hard tires, guys. Norris has gone fastest on hard tires. Verstappen has dropped back to 2 seconds against Leclerc. I think now they're just making a small gap out, right? They're going to wear out all their tires. Are they all going to save it all the way into the end of the race? Okay, Antonelli's pressuring Colapinto. Can he get up and overtake him? No. Try and get past Colapinto. Right. At the moment now, it's still the race is quite ironed out. Norris has got fastest lap, still about 8 seconds behind PS3, but Norris seems to have the advantage on the hard tires. Right, Leclerc is third. Right, falling behind. Right, Bortoleto. All right. Alja seems to be struggling, right? Even Carlos Sainz is overtaking him. All right, fastest lap is still Norris. All right, Hulkenberg has been told to swap positions with Bortoleto. All right, Bortoleto is chasing after. All right, Antonelli takes off. Yeah, gets past Colapinto. So up to the top 7 now, right? Not much movement is going on, right? I think they're saving the tires. That's how I see it. All right. Antonelli cuts, overtakes Colapinto. Yeah. All right. Russell don't think they can make it all the way. So there will be some more. There'll be more tire changes coming in. There'll be more pit stops coming in, right? The only thing you're talking about now whether Norris can go all the way. Whether Norris can go all the way, that's the question now, right? At the moment now, top 6 or 7, right? PS3 is up in front, Norris is second, Leclerc third, Verstappen is fourth, Russell is fifth, Albon is sixth, Hamilton is seventh, right? That's the tight part that's going on here. All right. Who's coming in for the next change? Alja is changing. Why is he struggling? So he's coming in for a pit stop. Got on hard tires to go to the end of the race. All right, Colapinto is being hunted down by Stroll. Verstappen doesn't seem to be making ground on Leclerc. Right, Norris doesn't seem to be making ground on Piastri. All right. All right. There's another one. Piastri says most probably can't last all the way. Can't make it all the way. Right. The next thing you see whether Leclerc or Verstappen or Russell is coming in. Right. Even Hamilton has dropped back against Albon. Now let's see what happens now. Will Hamilton do a pit? The only question now is can Norris last all the way until the end on the hard tires? Right? But that comes in on the medium now. Most probably he has to go in. Has to go in. Most probably he 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 has to go in. Most probab Right now. That's how I see it. All right. Stroll is chasing after Colapinto. Aja has gone in for the hearts. Any changes for his speed? No, not much difference. All right. Stroke cuts up, takes over, overtakes Colapinto. All right. Now looking at Hamilton, Alonso, Albon. Albon is a six. Yeah, it's your call. Yeah. Lando's on the hard. The question is that can Lando last all the way? That's my question, right? I think the rest of the medium tires, right, will have to put in a change. The only question is that can Lando last all the way with the speed there? All right. Can Lando Norris last all the way? Right. The rest of the medium tires, right, on medium tires, right, will have to change the tires. If not, it's going to be a tough gamble, right? You're going to take the gamble without any grip in the last 2 or 3 laps, right? Medium tires are burning up, are dagging up now. The only thing is that if you're not too close, that's why the best part for Norris is that he's not close on the back of Piastri at the moment. So his tires are quite well maintained, right? And the thing is that Leclerc is not putting any pressure on him, so he has got no pressure. He can drive his way all the way to the end. Hopefully, if not, if the tires can't last, if there's pressure on him, then it might be a different story. But now at the moment now, you're looking at all the medium tires, most probably will have to go in for a pit stop. That's how I see it. But the thing is that, are you going to take the risk, right, to run it all the way to the end and have no grip in the last 2 laps of the race? Right? That's how I see it. But I think is that if Piastri pits now, how would it go? But will he be able to catch back up to Norris with fresher hard tires? Right? The only problem is that Oscar is not pulling away from Norris. He's still maintaining about 8 seconds advantage. If he's pushing hard to drag it to about 10, 12 seconds advantage, then maybe he can put in another stop. Right? The problem is that you're looking at Leclerc, Verstappen, Russell, Albon, and Hamilton. They're all bunched up, more or less bunched up, right? They were all about 2 seconds apart from each other. Russell now has fallen back even more. So I guess Russell will be the next one coming in. Is he losing grip? They're still maintaining about 8 seconds difference, right? Leclerc is about 8 seconds away from Norris. So if Piastri comes in, he will be landing up in between the Leclerc Verstappen area, or maybe just ahead of Russell. This is fascinating now, right? How the tires are going to play. The only problem now, I keep saying, right, guys, we have to see whether Norris hard tire can last all the way to the end, right? Because the medium tires don't seem to be able to do that. If we come closer and closer to the, I guess, last 10 laps, then that's it's going to be very telling then. Right? And if you do pit again, right, would you put on hards or would you put on mediums? So Oscar is stuck in a hard position now, right? Damn if you do, damn if you don't, right? So the problem is that what's he gonna do? Norris still has him the fastest lap. They're all sitting back now, right? Because they don't want to be too close to each other's butt. Because if you get too close to the butt, it eats up the tires. Right? More or less that you're looking to look after your medium tires. But the problem is that, Norris is pulling further away from Leclerc now. He's gone up to 9 seconds. That's what I said, right? With all the supercomputers that they have, right? Why are they giving the choice to Piastri whether he has to pit or he has to drive on? The Sonoda, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Bortoleto, right? Being chased down by Antonelli, Alonso, and Bierman. The question is that will the medium tires last all the way? If they keep their distance, maybe, right? They all drive in this mode, maybe, right? I think unless tires start to drop off for Piastri and Norris catches up on him, right? And the rest of the pack catches up on him. But the problem is that at the moment now, Leclerc seems to be losing more time to Norris, whilst Norris is picking up more time against Piastri. So Piastri has to decide quick now. Oh, also there's a big loss of time. Did Norris have a bit of problem? $18.919. So Piastri has to, if Piastri pits now, right, he'll come out just in front of Verstappen, but still behind Leclerc. But then he'll have fresher tires, easier to overtake, right? The only problem is that will he put on mediums or will he put on hards? Then all of a sudden, Piastri's got 9 seconds hit, so that Piastri push up. Is Piastri pushing now? Then will Hamilton be able to catch up to Albon? Right. But I think it's that Russell's dropped off 4 seconds against Verstappen. Verstappen is still about 2 seconds behind Leclerc. All right. Norris ran wide in a certain corner. That's why I lost that much time. Our gap is 9.3 seconds, right? I think Piastri is pushing now. If Piastri starts to push, then maybe he's trying to go in for another pit stop. Antonelli overtakes Alonso. Antonelli overtakes Alonso. Moves on to 14. So he's chasing after Behrman. All right. Piastri starts to pull away slightly. Unless that Norris is having some problems with his tires. We don't know until we hear the report come in. Unless Norris makes a mistake again. If he makes a mistake, gives more time to Piastri. Maybe Piastri will stay out on the mediums. The question is, can the mediums last all the way? Even Hadja changing. Sainz going to the hards. And adding more speed on. Hamilton now is chasing up. Can Hamilton give Albon a bit of pressure? But he's still about 1 second behind. Hey, big up, Scotty, big up. Oh, the F1 went well today. The F1 was delayed nearly 1.5 hours, Scott. Right? So it is what it is. And they're still racing now. Right? And it's just gone into lap 28 of 44. So, yeah, F1 is still going on, Scott. Hope you're doing well, Scott. All right. Norris is catching up a bit time on slightly. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Scotty. Yeah. How are the kids, right? Good morning to you. Hope you're all well. Have you fed them yet? Right. If you're not mistaken, you're about 14 hours behind me. So that's about 8, 9 p.m. your time, 8, 9 a.m. your time over there. All right. Well, now the kids know how to feed themselves, right? I'm sure they know how to feed themselves, right? I've been doing this for 5 years, watching them eat cereal, right? I guess now they know how to cook and get their own cereal now. You don't have to feed them anymore. Maybe you're going to ask them to make food for you in breakfast, right? That's the most important thing. Yeah. All right, Norris is coming back at PS3 again now. At 9:15 a.m., right? Yeah, they're teenagers now, right? So sleeping until 2 p.m. in the summer. Oh dear. They are sleeping until 2 a.m. So you don't have to make breakfast. Then you have to make lunch for them. Teach them to make their own lunch, right? You know? Yeah. Get them to make their own lunch. And it's summer, yeah. Summer holidays. Summer holidays. Yeah. My God, they're teenagers now, yeah, Scotty. Remember 5 years ago when we were doing streams, right? They keep coming in asking, Daddy, where's my food? Oh, those were the days. Yeah. So 5 years plus 1 trophy away, 1 trophy in the bag. And what has Spurs done? Nothing has changed, bro. Same old, same old. At least we've got 1 trophy, right? That's the most important thing, is that 1 trophy. All right. Someone's coming, right? Colapinto's coming. He's put on medium tires now. All right. Now Norris is cutting into Piastri's lead again. Right. Verstappen is cutting into Leclerc's lead advantage. All right. Russell has fallen way back. Hamilton is getting closer to Albon now. I guess moves are going to start now, right? Because moves are going to start now, or the tires are going to change now. There's another 14 laps to go. All right, 14 laps to go, guys. All right, guys, let's see now. Hamilton now is trying to get closer to Alex Albon. He's got DRS, right? But the problem is, can he get close enough to make that overtake? The Williams are still way behind, right? Still can't get close to the Williams. Hamilton's getting about half a second. Okay, here comes the next car. Alonso comes in. Slow time, 3.3 seconds. Pit stop is slow. So I guess after this, that they all can go on medium tires. This is a good thing, right? If Pierre Street comes in now, he should go on a medium tire. All right, here comes Hamilton. Hamilton is getting closer to Albon. All right. Can he make it close enough? in the next DRS zone to overtake him. Norris is going fastest on the hards. Oh, Norris. All right. No wonder. No wonder. No wonder he drops off over there. Have a look at his tires, right, guys? Have a check out Norris's tires. Is it graining yet? Does it look like it's graining? Right now, can Hamilton make a move on Albon here? Can he catch up? Not too, still too far away. Still too far away. All right, Antonelli comes in. Another fresh set of tires for Antonelli. Yeah, the other thing is that you're behind other trials, right? Because there's more deck coming in. All right, no turbulent air, right? So PS3's got clean air all the way. The only problem is that unless he meets up the back markers, then he will have problem with turbulent air. But at the moment now, he doesn't have turbulent air. That's why PS3's be able to save his tires better than the rest of the midfield drivers. All right. So the thing you're talking about, Leclerc is so far away from Norris, it doesn't matter much. The only problem is with Verstappen, Russell, right? And Albon and Hamilton, that's the only thing. Can they get it? Okay, let's see whether new tires are coming in and get more speed into it. If you really want to make a move now, the move has to be now, right? If PS3 wants to change to a fresher set of tires, it has to be now. Then he has given some time to catch up back to Norris in the end. Yeah. Yeah. So 4 laps is going to catch up with the rest of the back markers. And Norris now is catching up, cutting to 8 seconds. Right. Now you're talking about tire degradation, but it doesn't seem to be happening, right? All right now. Can Hamilton get close enough to Hamilton get close enough to Albon to overtake him now? But if Hamilton pushed too hard, right? He's going to destroy his tires, and then he needs to change it again. No, not enough. Still not enough. Can he get it? Can he get it? Still not enough. No, still can't get enough. Hulkenberg pits for Sauber. Hamilton still can't get up close enough to Albon to overtake him. I think can Lewis catch up to him? All right. So PS3 is not pitting. He's going to go all the way. All right. So that means that I guess PS3 is not threatened by Norris's advantage, unless Norris all of a sudden can cut in a big cut into it. If not, then PS3 is already said that they're going to go all the way, right? The only thing now is whether Hamilton be able to get the better of Albon and whether Verstappen will be able to get the better of Leclerc. But Verstappen is about 2 seconds behind Leclerc, right? Leclerc is about 10 seconds behind Norris. So there is not much of a problem with the tires for Leclerc then. Why not? So Leclerc coming in. So 10 more laps to go. So now let's see now whether the medium tires will be able to last all the way to the end for the top 5, or top 7 or so. I think Hamilton will have to come in for another change because Hamilton is destroying his tires trying to overtake Albon. And even if he does overtake Albon, right, will he be able to maintain it? Because he's still quite far back from Russell though. Oh, Norris. So that means if Norris makes a mistake here, that means, if he makes a mistake, that means they're not sure whether he's going to have a flat spot there. And guys, there's no safety car yet. Just in case there's an accident, there's a safety car, right? Then I guess all of them will be going in to change new tires, right? There's still no safety car incident yet. There's no accidents or anything. So let's see what happens now. All right. They're just telling Lando to stay cool and calm, right? Because if you push too hard, 10 seconds ahead, can he cut back about 0.8 seconds a lap to catch up to Piastri? I doubt it, right? Because Piastri is doing a good job by maintaining composure and driving a good drive, right? So the problem is that Norris has made a couple of mistakes, right, to give a lifeline to Piastri. So I guess that's why Piastri doesn't need to go and make his tire change, right? Yeah, Leclerc and Verstappen, that one is more or less done. The only thing now is see whether Hamilton be able to overtake Alex Albon. Antonelli, can he get it? Can he get it? Yeah, he does it. Ocon fights back and takes back the place. Ocon gets back the space. But Antonelli, switched around. Look at that. Yeah, that is, yeah, it's a bit wide. Yeah, maybe onto a wet patch. Yeah. So now Norris has cut the lead down to 7.4 seconds to PS3. There's about another 8 laps to go. Yeah, I guess they'll be able to maintain it. That's why I gave too many mistakes, right? Norris has made too many mistakes. That's why I guess PS3 will be comfortable. Oh, Norris got 6 seconds, 7 seconds. Unless PS3's got some shit going on now. Right? Unless PS3 makes a mistake. So unless PS3 is losing grip. Hamilton, I guess he has to give up, right? His tires are going to be gone soon. And Norris is slowly cutting into PS3's laps. All right. So let's see how that goes now. Okay, now Verstappen is getting close onto Leclerc now. I guess Verstappen is not going to pressure Leclerc. Verstappen's been saving his tires. Not to get too close to Leclerc. I guess he's got about another 7 laps or so to do something about it. All right, rain clouds coming in. Let's see any rain's going to come in. Getting darker now, getting colder. Imagine, last lap, heavy rain, pandemonium. Last 2 laps, heavy rain. But if the heavy rain comes in, it'll be red flag, or most probably safety car will come out, and the race will be over. The CPS3 is doing anything. But now, Norris is catching up. Lead now is down to 5 seconds, 5.8. Verstappen now is pressuring Leclerc. Gone down to 1.2. All right. Hamilton is dropped back. Now the gap is 5.7. Charles Leclerc locking up. No wonder he's lost time against Leclerc. All right, here comes Max. Max is about getting close to DRS time. I guess Max will be able to get the 3rd spot, right? He plays this correctly. But of course, you still have to overtake. Okay. All right, Leclerc looks a bit fragile now. All right, 5.4 seconds now, PS3. There's 5 more laps to go. Do you think he'll make it? All right. I guess Hamilton's falling back. Ain't pressuring Albon anymore. It's gone to 5.0. All right. 5 seconds to the gap. 5 more laps. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Leclerc still be able to keep Verstappen at bay. Okay. So Noda. Gasly is trying to pressure on Gasly. So Noda's pressuring Gasly. Bierman, yep, there's a DRS train there, right? Between Gasly, Sonoda, Bierman, Stroll, and Hulkenberg. All right, Norris is catching up to PS3. 4 more laps to go. Now it's 4.7 seconds. 5 more laps to go, including this lap. I mean, 4 laps to go, including this lap, right? Including 5, right? Say 44. Lap 40. Time running up. Let's see what happens, right? It's going to be dramatic in the last lap. If both of them crash into each other, Leclerc will win. That will be dramatic. Let's see what happens then. Okay, there might be some rain coming in, right? That's what's going on. If there's some rain coming in, it will be chaos, pandemonium time. Last 4 laps. It's getting close now. Getting close now. Can the medium tires hang on? Straight fight now, guys. Okay, Verstappen is coming back to Charles Leclerc, but still about, can it be done? Three point 8 seconds. Norris is catching up. Lando can see his rival now. I guess Hamilton has given up on chasing up to Alex Albon. He's dropped off. I think at this moment now he has to look after his tires to the end of the race. All right. Three point 7 now. 3.6 now. Here comes Lando Norris. All right. Couple of seconds before the end. Few drops coming in. 3 more laps to go. All right, let's see whether Norris is coming in. Norris is coming through now. This is going to be an exciting end of the race because, right, Norris will be catching up to Piastri, teammates again. Will they make any mistakes? Will they hand this to Leclerc? All right, 2 laps to go. Here comes, right, cross the line. 3.1. Yeah, should have been 1.4 if they make mistakes. Oh, Norris makes another mistake. There's over 4 seconds now. All right. A lot of marbles on the track, right? If you run out, right, you lose grip. I guess Oscar's got it thrown up because, right, Lando made some mistake. So now it's back up to 5 seconds, 4.8 seconds, 4.95 seconds. All right. Oscar Piastri is coming up. 1 more lap to go. Norris has dropped back down again, 5 seconds. Piastri looks good. Looks confident. He's got a 5-second lead. Right. Norris can't see him now. Rain coming down now. Is there rain coming down? All right, 1 more lap to go. 1 more lap to go, guys. 1 more lap to go, and the race will be over. Yeah. And of course, Piastri. All right, 5 seconds. Okay, I guess unless a mistake from Piastri, then Norris ain't gonna win. Good try. All right. Leclerc gets third, I guess. Right? Leclerc's 15 seconds behind these two. 20 seconds behind Piastri. I guess Hamilton is more or less. Will Hamilton one last push? All right, few more corners to go for Piastri to get this over with. After 1.5 hours delay, right? No DNFs, no accident. The drama was in the weather. And apart from that, Piastri is taking it. Piastri is going to get it, right? And I did say, right, even in the slipstream, even if you're in pole, doesn't mean you're going to win this, right? All right, Piastri wins the race. All right, congratulations to Piastri. Then Norris is second. All right, 6-1-2 finish of the season. 6-1-2 the season. And here comes Charles Leclerc. And Charles Leclerc gets his 4th podium. Right. And of course, then Max Verstappen comes in as 4th. Right. Russell will come in at 5th. Albon will come in at 6th. Hamilton. Can Hamilton catch up to Albon? No. No. All right, guys. More or less, this race is over. It was a good race. All the drama and all that. Piastri made the first cut and hanged on to it. even though with a medium tire, right? Norris was put onto a hard tire, couldn't catch up, right? It was a good job by PS3. Guys, thanks for being here. Let's go around the chats, right? We got the Scotty, Mr. K, right? Who else was here earlier? Luca, right? Luca will most probably catch up with you on Thursday. We'll be doing a watch along for NLD in Hong Kong, right? And of course, we have to look into who else is here, who else is here chatting, right? Eva Man, catch up with you when you're in Hong Kong. Of course, Donna Cullen was here too. Big up to Donna, right? Anybody else been here? Anybody else been here? Let me check. Anybody else? Big up to you guys. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your time, right? Nearly 2 over hours. Chris Agamba, the only Agamba, right? Big up to Chris, right? Guys, thanks for being here, right? I'll catch up with you. The next watch along will be the North London Derby in Hong Kong Kai Tak, right? See you guys. Catch you there. And as always, leave you out.